So remember this? We talked about this. Hold on, you don't even know what it is yet. You're laughing and nothing's come up.
What's up with the McPoyle brothers over here?
Well, so remember Travelbum? He's the one that did the silent pickup. That was totally wasn't staged with that chick in Barcelona.
With that chick who totally was not an expensive prostitute.
Correct. So this is remember he does these classes. How much you looked it up? It was like what was it 5 G's or something like that?
6
G's.
6, Royce. Come on.
To take his class. Yeah.
Don't discount this man's skills.
You're right. So this is him. This is one of his students that he's working with. Let's check it out.
So go for coffee, maybe not. But what's in control is your permission to say, I want to see you again, put your phone on the wheel. Yeah. Don't ask for it.
No.
Wait, he's the pickup artist in this one?
Yeah, dude, he's a stud. Look at him.
You haven't looked at their website, have you? He's like the second guy in charge.
There's something hilarious, though, about a guy who looks like this and who's super confident.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies.
The unity of dating and spiritual awakening. What if you could see the world the way I see the world, where no one is a stranger?
I hate this guy. I hate him. We go to places where the exchange rates are really good and we buy women.
Hi. No English? I just saw you. I wanted to say hi. Have a lovely day.
So he's got a microphone on him?
This is creepy, right?
It's very creepy.
Everything great. Sat down, started talking. She was open to have you next to her.
This guy
you
is a
started
ghoul.
sharing about yourself. You said, what you love? You said, I love coffee, right? And then you quickly made it about having coffee with her.
Yeah.
Why do you think that didn't work out in that moment?
Because all of this is a scam and it's a Ponzi scheme, and you're selling false hope to people who really on the inside what they need is somebody to love them and care about them, and instead you want to turn them into a fucking carnival trick. I don't know though. That's just me fucking spitballing.
Yeah, you're selling poison to people because
What is this?
You're conceptualizing, and I always point out with these guys, like, you're taking what should be just genuine moments of meeting people, and like, look, I'm not against people that go out and, you know, pick up chicks and want to fuck and like all that kind of, hey, you know, do you? But like when you start treating it like everything is a system and a transaction and everything is a, you know what I mean? Like everything's, you start dehumanizing people to the point where it really is only a small leap from there where you're like killing hookers and like peeling their skin off and making a girl suit. Like once you can get to a level where you're not even looking at the people you're talking to as humans and you're like, you know what I liked about it, bro, was that like she said, and then you worked an angle in, right? And then you used the theta method, which then she like it's like now
I know you're riffing, but I'm angry at even that. It makes me angry
because it's all like, why don't you just go talk to somebody? And like maybe several times a day you'd be like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, not interested. And you're like, okay, Jesus, you know. And you just learn how to be okay. Like most of the guys that pay for these programs, I could save you a lot of money right now. Just get very comfortable with the little pang of pain that you feel when girls go, I'm not interested, go away, weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, just get okay with that. And if you can get okay with that, you're not going to do this. Can I talk to her? I don't. You could just go up and talk to people. Once you really don't care, that the only thing that they can say to you is, no, I have a boyfriend, go away.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, whatever, it's worth a shot, right? Like, these guys are making you think that there's the perfect sequence of things you can do and get any woman, and it's just not how it works. It really is just a numbers game. It's just like selling a car. You want to sell a lot of cars, talk to as many customers as possible. You're going to convert the same percentage, but instead of talking to one person, you talk to 10 people, you sold 2 cars. Like, these people look at it like where it's like, you got to use a method and this system and chart it and then write down your progress and then make sure the next time you watch this video, it's just go up and talk to people, and most girls are going to go away, asshole. And then every once in a while, somebody's going to go, yeah, that seat's not taken. And you're like, oh, what up? It's like life's pretty easy, dude. And like Roy said, what you're doing to these already borderline Elliot Rodger weirdos is you're going to make them drop $6,000. They're going to feel like they're doing the system right. Why the fuck isn't the system working? It must be these goddamn whores. And then it's like really, it's very, very slight jump into now I'm going to start killing these whores sort of realm mentally. And it's like going to be on you guys. And they're going to be even angrier when they're killing these bitches because they're going to be like, I dropped $6,000 on this. Like I could have went to a trade school for that.
Wouldn't you be mad if this guy showed up as your coach for $6,000? Like this guy doesn't look like someone who's picking up chicks on the easy.
I mean, maybe to them, maybe that's a selling point if you think about it. To at least the marks in this situation, where it's like, oh, if this fucking average or ugly looking dude can do it, I can do it. You know?
Yeah, and also they're doing it in the second and third world countries where Americans and Westerners are looked at as like, you know,
God.
Oh shit, you can have money. He'll probably have, you know what I mean? Like, you're talking about Ukraine where these people are. You can live comfortably for $1,000 a month. So if you're making YouTube big bucks, like you can go over there. Anybody's going to think you're cool if you're staying at a luxury hotel and you have money. And that's these guys do. You notice none of these pickup artists, they're all from either England or they're from America. None of these guys operate any of this shit in England or America. You notice that?
Can I
That's
get
a
you
good
guys
point.
to pay to send me on one of these retreats?
They all got to take the gimmick to the Philippines or Thailand or, you know, Romania or like, you know what I mean? It's Macedonia. They go to these places that are very carefully chosen because everybody there is poor and the women are gorgeous and they're very plentiful. So it's like there's a bunch of bored, like young Melania Trump looking bitches walking around that probably their dad's a farmer. And then you're like, hey, what's up? You want to go stay at this luxury hotel? I got cocaine. And they're like, yeah. And then you go, see, so the method I used. It's like, stop it.
Not as a universal thing, oh, this doesn't work in this moment all the time. Why in this moment? She said, no, thank you, and it propelled you even into the momentum of saying, okay, nice to meet you, goodbye.
Yeah.
What do you think happened there?
I felt I needed to come to the conclusion or the question.
Right.
Because of the no English thing. She didn't speak English. So I was like, well, then I'll go for the punchline, basically.
By the way, I like the
You wanted
Shakes
to
in the
quickly-
chat said, Mersh hates that he isn't the one doing this. You think I can't afford to fly to Ukraine and buy a bag of Coke?
Of course.
And get a hotel that in New York City would cost $1,300 a night, but over there it'd probably be like $200 a night. It's very doable for anybody that wants to do that. Like that's not a thing where you're like, you're just jealous that he's doing this. It's not difficult. Like anybody can go to the Philippines with $500 on them. You know what I mean? And go live like an Afghani opium warlord. It's not. If somebody's not doing that, it's because they don't want to.
We escalate to the end.
Yeah.
Beautiful square though.
She
You got to
doesn't
get.
get
yeah.
me, so
Let's try to
Let's
like capitalize on the moment now.
capitalize in
Try
the
to get her to
moment.
Say yes.
Because all the other things I will say
Yeah.
will not be understood.
It's Travelbum _coaching for those of you that have $6,000 laying around.
So let's just go for that.
The presumption that a lot of things you might say or do might not be understood or received.
Yes.
Because just her first pushback of saying I don't speak English is the default defensive thing to a foreigner.
Or, hear me out here, maybe she doesn't speak English because you are not in their country. They could possibly not. But this whole keep pushing thing is so...
Rapey?
Yeah, it's kind of rapey, right?
And her being sensitive to her capacity to not be able to sustain a conversation in English, and so she'll say that, but she doesn't know how you'll make her feel in your ability to maybe not speak English and speak silence, emotion, small, simple English maybe, you know. She doesn't know how that's going to make her feel. So you have to gauge that in the moment, you know, and feel it out and say, oh, you know, I can just keep going. I can be continuous, not be reactive, and feel that I must do something fast now because she doesn't speak English. Just you.
It's like you know, when the women, it's not as big now, but remember like for a few years ago when all the women were into that book, The Secret, that Oprah talked about, where like you just put your vibes out into the universe, man, every day, and they'll come true. This is the dude equivalent of it. This is what it is. You're.
And then it turns out that you can't just wish your way into a lab technician job.
Yeah, you know you
got to
can't.
actually go to school for it.
Yeah, you have to actually
You had to
work
actually
hard.
work towards the goal. Oh, I thought if I just put lab tech on my dream board that it was going to just come true. And it's like, well, no. Step 2 is go apply for classes.
It sounds like he's trying to these guys are trying to fucking sell you a timeshare. Like that's what they should. This is the timeshare selling technique.
The best thing that anybody can understand, right, is that if you're hung up on this thing where you're like, I'm not getting laid, it's impossible. You're doing the same. And it doesn't even apply to getting laid. It could apply to a sales job. It could apply to anything that you have to apply yourself to. You know, if you can look around and there's a bunch of other dudes that are average, just like you, that are managing to close sales every day or are managing to find women that go home with them, like it's not, there's not a system that they're using, and you're the problem. If you're in a room with 10 guys, 9 of them, you know, have had a girlfriend in the last year or whatever, and you haven't had a girlfriend your whole life, it's you. You're doing something wrong, and very likely, more often than not, it's either because you see guys they're fat and they have goofy glasses and they dress goofy, and there's guys that are just clueless, and you could tell like they have bad skin, they don't do anything to look nice, they have no sense of style. Like, so you go talk to one of the more normal ones and be like, you know, who cuts your hair? Like, what kind of cologne is that? Like, learn how to just look kind of normal. Just kind of normal, and then talk to as many people as possible. That's it's the same way as looking for a job. Like I've seen people that are like, you ever see those people that are like, I can't find a job to save my life. Like, I've posted on Facebook like at least 4 times, hey guys, can anybody find me a job? And I can't find, and you're like, wait, so you haven't gone out and looked for a job? Like, you haven't put a nice shirt and pants on and gone out and said, hey, who's the manager around here? I just want to press the flesh real quick. Hey, I'm Mike, man. I was just around looking for a job. Figured I'd hand you the thing personally. And you go do that 100 times, and finally somebody's going to go, who was the guy that came in the other day, shook my hand? Get him the fuck in here. We need somebody.
It's you know, what you said is a good point. It shouldn't just be, oh, go talk to women and do this. If you want to have a better chance of this, talk to guys, talk to girls, and not just and I'm not talking about because you're trying to fuck them. Have conversations with people. Learn how to speak. There's doesn't be a little fucking, there's going to be a little street magic trick to make this happen. Just be a person that you could speak to anybody. You could go to a party and you could talk to anybody about anything, and you'll be fine. Because if you look at a lot of these dudes, you know, the ones that have problems with, like, I don't know how to pick up a chick, I don't know how to get laid or whatever. Their biggest issue isn't just that they have a problem talking with women. They have a social problem with everybody, which outside of romantically.
Yeah.
They have an issue.
You're the guy that goes to a party, there's 30 people there, and you're talking to nobody.
Right.
Not even the guys. And it's like,
You're sitting there with your drink in the corner like
that meme.
fucking losers.
Like the meme with
Yeah.
the guy in the corner and everybody's dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, you know, it's just talk to people. It's like anything, man. Practice makes perfect, right? And it's not just, if you can't have a normal conversation with somebody at a party without trying to fuck them, you're definitely not going to be able to talk to a girl and get them to fuck you. Like, you can't do that.
Why?
It's like Royce and I both like had probably more often than not. Like, I know Royce has seen me when I was in Miami. Like, I've been with some women and dated some women that I had no business dating.
Yeah.
And it's, again, you can kind of skip a lot of the homework and you can skip a lot of the book work if you can just work a room. Like, you can skip a lot of gym. You can skip a lot of trips to the gym. You don't have to be super rich. if you can just be socially like, you know what I mean? That's one of the things I was always pretty okay at, was just put me in a room with people. I don't get that, like, where I go, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna mope. Like, I've always gone into a room and I'm the guy that's always like, what do you do for a living? Like, blah, 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 blah. You know, and you break balls, and like, I'll break a stranger's balls before I even know them. And you take a chance when you do that, but if you're not, like, meeting people and you're having some fun, and then everybody has a good time, and then, yeah, sometimes somebody's like, hey, this guy's not great, but he's funny at least.
or like you said before, become a drug dealer.
Dude, honestly, when in doubt,
Drug dealers getting laid.
When in doubt, break out the powder, baby.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot at this seminar that I flew out here for and paid 2 G's to you guys for. I really appreciate it.
$2,000 is a deposit. It's $3,000 to finish the course. It's still $1,000 less than this guy.
Okay.
But yeah, if you got blow, it's the easiest, because sometimes the difficult move is you're at a party and it's getting the girl away from people to, like, have a little undivided attention, and, like, not to fuck them yet or anything, but just to talk to them. Like, you got to get a little bit of you time in, and that's the best way to do it. Is you be like, you want to real quick, and then you go in there, and then you got like 5 minutes of coke chatter alone, and you build it there, and then, yeah, they'll fuck you.
She's not going to say no because of the implication.
Well, no, in this case, she's not going to say no because of the cocaine.
Well, no, it's the implication that if you don't fuck me, you're not going to get more cocaine.
That's true. And if you do fuck me, you'll get plenty more.
There'll be plenty more cocaine.
Plenty more where that came from, darling.
Very simple. That's how it works.
They call me the snowman, baby.
Let's see let's see him on the streets again.
Speak English.
Look at the women.
Do you mind
God
me
damn
walking with a few seconds?
Just the women walking around in
Just
Ukraine
normal people,
is
yep.
just, it's obscene how good looking they are.
Metro? Yes. I walk with you 1 minute. I have never taken the metro before. I will not do that now. Don't worry. But it's cheap, no? Fun job? No. Why?
A lot of one-word answers.
And they're bothering them.
Yeah, you're bothering people
You're
that are on the way to
bothering
work.
people.
Yeah.
You know, there's another reason I keep bringing up that they do this in foreign countries, right? Because they're a little more polite in these foreign countries or whatever. And, you know, you could never do this in New York City.
No, of course not.
Could you imagine stopping a beautiful woman in New York City and going like, hey, what's up? What's your name? You taking the same subway? Oh, I'll ride with you. Yeah, so what's up? You like your job? What do you do? And like, you would end up having a beautiful woman in a $3,000 dress go, get the fuck away from me. Yeah. Get the fuck away. Like, very loudly in front of people. You're like, whoa, get the fuck away from me. You're like, okay, Jesus. But in Ukraine, they're like, yes, no, yes. And they're like, they're just afraid he's one of those guys that, like, is one of the lower level guys that works for those dudes in Taken.
They're gonna be sold behind some bulletproof glass to a bunch of fucking sheiks.
They're being polite because they don't want to end up in a container ship.
Does it jobs?
Job's no fun.
Look at the women. It's just insanity.
What would you do if you didn't have this job? You had all the money in the world? You don't know.
Listen, she's giving him a lot of I don't knows. No. Read the fucking room, pal. Read the room.
I would probably live on an island.
She didn't ask you what you would do.
With myself and chocolate, because I love chocolate. You go in. You're already here. Okay, stop. I think you're lovely.
Oh my God, this is...
Do you like coffee?
Ah!
Or tea?
Who doesn't like coffee?
Sure. Or a phone number?
Oh.
Sure.
I have a boyfriend. So,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yes, I would like you to leave
Well, it
me
was lovely
alone,
to meet
yes.
you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
It is awkward in here now. Oh my God.
These, and by the way, this is another thing that doesn't work with this pickup artist shit. Very rarely, and it happens, but very rarely can you just go up to a woman who is either in the middle of trying to go from A to B, like anybody who's trying to get somewhere, or somebody who's sitting by themselves, like at a coffee shop. Like, I don't know why these pickup artists always do that. They go, we got one. We got a live one. I'm going to move in. And it's like, nobody wants to be bothered in public by a stranger.
No, of course not.
Ever. It's not a thing that women, men, nobody wants that.
I don't want to be bothered in public by a friend.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, if I'm just sitting at a Starbucks and I'm having a coffee and somebody goes, hey, how you doing, man? You have the time? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, got a job interview here in a few minutes. Getting pretty pumped for it. Get a cup of coffee or something. Like, you just start chatting. You'd go, like, after a while, you'd go, can you leave me alone? I'm not trying to be a dick, but if I wanted to be here talking to somebody, I would have called one of my various friends to meet me here so I could talk to somebody while I had my coffee. I'm here alone because I just need this moment right now, and you're ruining it for me.
You know who was great at that, at stopping that? Our buddy Dutch. When he gets on airplanes, he wants to be left alone, like most people do, want to be left alone. And he says every time a chatty person is sitting next to him, like he'll have his headphones in, like normal. And when they stop talking, he goes, slowly wraps his headphones around his phone, and then he goes, yes. And they'll be like, oh, I just wanted to know blah, blah, blah. He'll be like, blah, blah, blah.
That's actually...
Then he slowly unwraps it.
Actually...
Puts him back in.
By the way...
And they don't bother him the rest of the flight.
Dutch is the biggest cunt I've ever met.
Oh, of course he is.
But, and I mean it in the most complimentary way possible. Yeah. I've been out with Dutch before. I've had some wild nights out with Dutch. And, yeah, he really is a cunt. But, he's one of those guys, when he does shit to me, I get really annoyed. But, man, when I watch Dutch do it to other people, I'm always like, this is the most amazing thing ever. That really is great, though. Yeah, so you're saying, you put him in whenever you're setting up, and the guy's like, yeah, so it's my first time going. I'm headed to blah, blah, blah. So he really does do
He does the
slow.
Sigh, you have to sigh. You go. Wrap it around
Take
slowly.
a good 20 seconds to do it.
And be like,
yes.
Yeah.
You're right. That
They'll
really
leave him
makes
alone.
you just feel like...
You know what he doesn't
mind.
embarrass me at restaurants? When the waitress or waiter's taking too long?
Does he really?
Puts his hand up and holds the other hand to hold it up, and he does this. And he will hold it up there for an awkward amount of time. And I'm like, Dutch, just wait. She's going to come by. Fucking stop. What are you doing?
Dutch is a fucking... But I love him. I've witnessed him not do shit like that. I've never been on a plane with him, but I've witnessed him do Dutch-like things, and I'm just like, that was great.
Does he take puppets out into public with him?
No, I do that. That's more fun.
It felt like loosened up a little bit through the conversation. As in...
Also, the dude on the right doesn't look like he would have a problem. He has a normal-looking guy. He doesn't think he'd have a problem getting a chick, right? Like, he's not... Like, the guy on the left, the one walking around with his shirt open like a fucking asshole. The one on the left, the one teaching him should have the issues. The one on the right looks like a normal guy that should easily be able to pick up chicks.
By the way, the guy on the left maybe shouldn't have his shirt open when he has a fucking Jake the Snake Roberts body. Right?
Yes. Well, he is doing DDP yoga now.
He's just got like that hairy out of... That would be like me just walking around with an open shirt. Like a sport jacket but no t-shirt underneath. Hello, ladies. I feel like, what are you doing? Are you trying to do a bad Leisure Suit Larry thing? Like, what are you doing? Sorry, I just wanted to pop my chest out, get my nips a little bit of air. This fucking guy.
Before I was still a bit like... There was a pause just before we went in the metro where I actively noticed like, okay, pause. And then I saw a little, with her, like a little, it's quiet, like.
So I am very curious. When do we begin the raping? Because you have promised me for $6,000 a month I could come here and we would be commencing the raping. The guy's like, dude, fucking chill, man.
Dude, not on camera. I'll tell you about the raping later.
Fucking mic, dude. It's a hot mic.
Fucking stop.
You told me we would be kidnapping women and raping them here in the Ukraine. Dude, stop.
You made me pay you $500 for drugs to put them to sleep.
Dude, it's a live stream. Stop. I can't even take this back.
So we're not doing the raping.
And then I continued.
These guys look like they're in love.
They do. The guy on the left looks like the end of a movie where someone has AIDS and he's just saying goodbye to his lover.
You're right. But the other one didn't get it?
Yeah, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. Luckily, he didn't get it. Because
And then it ends with a narration from the guy on the right.
Yeah,
I missed him every day after that.
This is Ukraine Rent 2021.
fucking yes.
But he also does that weird thing. The guy on the left does that weird thing that they all do where it's like stare intensely and psychotically directly into people's eyes. Never break eye contact. I don't know why the pickup artists tell you that's good. And I know why they tell you that. Because the autists that they're trying to help, they make literally no eye contact, which is not good.
Of course.
You have to make, like, you shouldn't be putting any amount of thought into the amount of eye contact you're giving. Because once you do, you're fucking yourself up. Like, it shouldn't be too much. It shouldn't be enough. You should occasionally glance in somebody's eyes as you're talking to them so that they know, hey, we're still here. We're still on the line. We're talking. But when you're just like, you know, I was just wondering, what is it that you do for a living?
Me?
Is it good work? Do you enjoy it?
I have a boyfriend.
Look at me.
It's
It's just like, why?
I can't help but look at you.
Why would you do like eye contact is just, yeah, man, I was saying that last week, blah, blah, blah. You look up occasionally at somebody's eyes, and these guys just go look in the eyes, and then the autistic ones go. And it's like, are you trying to shoot lasers at me?
Somebody pointed something out in the chat. The guy on the left looks like Vsauce.
He does.
Yeah, I definitely think a lot
Michael.
like the Vsauce.
Vsauce.
Michael from Vsauce, yeah. All right. I think we covered this enough for today. What do
He
you
also
think?
looks a bit Michael Stipe-ish,
Okay. I see that.
which is probably what he does when he's off camera. That's how he gets laid, is he just goes around and goes like, REM. Remember?
Doesn't it feel like they're trying
And they're
to
like,
start
6 o'clock, TV hour. I don't remember the words to my own song.
And then the girl's like, I'm sorry. Are you a time traveler? This is in 1999. I really don't care if you're from an REM.
Okay, fine. I'm Moby. Can we please go back to my hotel now?
Moby, eh?
Who's Moby?
Exactly. I don't know. Ask the 1990s.
Yeah. Who's Moby? The guy Fatboy Slim could have been.
I saw him on Community.
Right. No, that's the dean.
The guy that was better than Fatboy Slim, but not as good as the Chemical Brothers.
Correct.
Somewhere
Yes.
right in the middle there.
He didn't
Actually,
get
Fatboy Slim was pretty good. I can't shit on Fatboy Slim.
Moby's pissed he didn't get the Matrix gig.